Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 26. I can't believe we're already at 26 of the Lawrence History Project. My name is Mark Palermo. With me is Mr. Tom Delisle, photographer extraordinaire, and who has archived so many photos of Lawrence. Also, Mr. Joe Bella, the local historian, who's taken up the cup from Mr. What was his name? I'm doing that guy. Mr.
Ernest Mack.
Mr. Ernest Mack.
Ernest G. Mack.
And another photographer from the old days, Mr. Douglas Cogger, who spent a life, very interesting life. And one of his skills is expert photographer, so I'm sure he'll have a lot to add to our discussion today. So there's four of us, old guys, who've known each other's many, many years, go back a long time. And we're here to tell the stories. Okay, for the younger people, might want to know how things were. What was here? You know, it's a very good question. Why is there something? What was here before us? And we're here to tell you. So, guys, you ready to go? Let's roll. Okay, let's see our first photograph here. Oh yeah. Okay, I gotta give this some background here. I got these off the Lawrence Archives Facebook page, and this is New Year's Eve in the old Tally-Ho. Now, I don't know if the Tally-Ho is Lawrence. I'm doing it. It's definitely on the line. Is it Lawrence?
Methuen.
Oh, it's Methuen.
Yeah, Swan Street.
Okay, well, it's right on the line. Anyway, well, there it is. And it's amazing photos. There were about 35 of them, but I didn't use them all. I don't want to kill the whole program on this, but I felt like I was unearthing an artifact, a historical artifact. Well, there's just some quality about these photographs that just grabs the attention, and I can't articulate it, but we do have two photographers here. I was wondering, Doug, if you can tell us what your opinion is. What is it about these photographs that just draws the attention?
Candid photographs like this are really draw the person to look at all the activity that's going on, and it's almost like I could be there idea.
Right.
And then you've got all the mystery that's in the photograph with people that you can see and people that you can't see, and then there's the couple with the woman's with the crown on her head, that they look like they're in some serious situation. And then there's the couple that you really can't see, the blonde-headed woman and the guy she's talking to. You can't see him at all. So there's like who's doing what, where, when. There's a guy dancing, but you don't see who his partner is. And then there's the other couple behind him. They appear to be dancing. And you're like, okay, so there's like two separate groups of people here. There's the people sitting down and then the people standing up. And so you're like, there's like so much going on. You can't control one idea that you're looking at. It's a very interesting, just like I'm at a party and I'm just going to walk around and take photographs.
Yeah, he nailed it.
What is it?
It's the only person looking at the camera, obviously, is the only one that's not really actively engaged in what they're doing. The other people, they couldn't care less. Mm-hmm. And you get that the bench, the strong diagonal, sort of pointing to that guy.
Yeah.
As it turned out.
Yeah.
And you see, they're embracing. You get people nowadays, they dance, they don't even touch.
Yeah.
These people all locked together, and it's a great shot. You get that diagonal, the strong verticals in the background.
Yeah.
With those the darker lines.
Yeah, Tom, that works out. Yeah,
it works. And the centerpiece, I think, is the woman's black hair. You don't see her face.
Exactly.
But that's the first thing that I noticed.
Yep.
And her absence, to me, is the most present thing there. Even more so than the guy looking at the camera.
Yeah, that's interesting, Tom. You're right.
the magnetic thing about it is, as you'll see, if you go to the Facebook page, you'll see about 31 of these, and they all have that immediacy to them, that magnetism to them.
Right.
And I'll show you. I've got about 4 or 5 of these. Another really interesting shot.
Yeah.
They're certainly drinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of glasses.
That's shy. But I find that the alcohol is magnifying who they are, and
Jesus, look at all the alcohol on that table, and the bucket of ice, so they don't even have to get up and go get more ice. And the other thing there is the round table, you know, and it works for the composition of the photograph. No one is hidden, you know.
And just remember the Tally Ho, it was sort of claustrophobic. You know, it was a small
it's very
place.
intimate.
Yeah.
And these people fill it in a different way than, I like the first one. This is, again, you know, not contrived, but.
And the Tally Ho was one of 2 restaurants in Methuen owned by Billy Margraff.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
There was
Now,
another.
Margraff's
Oh, that's
Tally
right. There was
Ho.
another one on
What was the other
110.
one?
Yeah.
It's not a restaurant any longer. It closed about 3 or 4 years ago.
That's right,
On
yeah.
Lowell Street.
Yeah.
No, White Horse?
White Horse.
The White Horse. No,
Right.
it's White Horse in the Boulevard.
Yeah, that was both that and the Tally Ho with Billy Margraff.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have an old calendar at home and it's got his name in both places mentioned.
You'll see a common thread in all of these. Here they are
Yeah.
again.
More glasses.
More glasses.
My uncle worked down there for a while.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Dick Belovich,
Oh,
our
that's
good
right.
friend,
Yeah.
he tended
And
bars
of course,
down
the
there for a
famous chicken barbs.
while. Chicken Bob's.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, these are great because it's like, you know, it's like the 50s revisited, you know.
I felt I was fascinated with it. Honestly, I could write 10,000. I can write a 10,000 word
story.
articles on these because I feel like I'm unearthing some kind of psychological artifact of how people were and how people are now. Can we see the next one, Cassie? I'll show you what I mean. You can see a common thread in all of these.
Look at those. Oh, beautiful.
This gentleman in the front, I used to go to Tally Ho a lot. I mean, I don't really like bars, but I like the Tally Ho because it was just focused on getting drunk. It was a social place, you know? You could go there on a Friday night, and if you had nothing to do, you'd find people you knew. You'd just have an evening socialize. Look, they're having a conga line.
Oh, yeah.
And this gentleman over here in the white shirt, that's Danny Tardungo. And he was a bartender there. Well into he died about the late 1970s or early 80s. He was a great guy. He had been a boxer.
Whoa.
But he had been the bartender there, perennial bartender. And just always got along great with the kids. Danny Tardungo. Oh, Danny. Look, they're in a conga.
shot.
They're in a conga line.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? You see, they're really leaning into each other. They're not afraid of each other. They all have a sense of belonging. You know? And I said, where did it come from? Like, they're drunk. A lot of them are drunk. And some of them are, you know, well, I don't want to be disrespectful, but some of them look like they're horny. I mean, but they're unguarded.
Unguarded.
They're unguarded. They're not afraid. They have a sense of belonging, like they're a group, and that's what a community is. Now, kids nowadays they talk about internet community or Facebook community. That's what a community is. When everybody feels safe, everybody feels they belong.
Yeah.
That they're part of a group. I said, where did that come from? Well, you know, people, they didn't move all the time. A lot of times they live in the same house, sometimes their whole life. The unions, the jobs, they stuck on the same job, the neighborhood. You know, they had a lot of connections in those days that they don't have now. That's what a community is. You're looking at it.
I wonder if the lady with the black hair was the one that was sitting down, you know, dancing in the blue dress. Or just curious. A lot of blues. A lot of people were wearing blue.
Yeah.
Didn't someone drive a motorcycle into the
Yeah, that
tally
happened.
ho
Yeah,
one night
that
or
happened.
something?
Yeah.
Oh,
There was all
really?
kinds of stuff. Somebody drove it in one door and right out the other. And, and when
They
streaking,
didn't crash.
you remember when streaking became a
Oh, it's streaking, yeah.
streaking? Yeah, they used to streak. Kids used to streak. They'd go in one side and run through and out the other.
You don't have any of those shots?
No, I don't. This is
Now
a
that's
family.
community.
It's a family show here, Tom. And let's see. There's another one, Cassie. Do I have another one on there? And here again, you see that sense of belonging and safety and intimacy with one another. You could see people getting drunk and but nowadays it'd be hard to see that in a bar room. I couldn't imagine going into a tavern and having a feeling like that.
I'll tell you, Milford, New Hampshire, I'm sort of the house photographer for a blues club up there, Blues Therapy, Thursday evenings. You will see this every Thursday evening.
Is that
It's
right?
refreshing,
Yeah,
yes.
refreshing.
The
yeah.
friendliest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
But you fast forward this 60 years, it's still going on.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
it
that's
really
it.
is.
Well,
Every
that's
Thursday.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Wow. That is.
I mean,
is.
you know,
Yeah,
when
it's
you're a
special.
member of a community, you come with a sort of an identity. You might not like it, but you have an identity to start with. And nowadays, everybody has to figure out their identity for themselves. I think that's why people, don't know how to behave on airplanes and stuff, public places. You have people, overly sensitive, is freaking out. It's a big topic, too big for a short little program like this. But I was just intrigued.
Great
I was
shots.
magnetized. I said, "What is it about these?" I had to define it, and I'm glad you guys
Again,
had
if
something to
anyone
say.
knows who took those photos, there might still be someone
Yeah,
alive who knew who the photographer was.
maybe a family member or something like that. But they're posting them on the Lawrence Archives, I believe, Facebook page. That's where I got them. And let's see what else we have. Look at a conga line.
again.
Yeah, they're really having a good time. This is our parents' generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see it. You can't imagine your parents being young and having a good time like that. Look at the faces. Everybody just kind of like belonging. Okay, I think it's time to move on to the next one here. Okay. This is, I got this from the archives.
Yeah.
It said Lawrence, all it says is Lawrence 1949. But you can see that. You know where that is, right? You guys?
Yeah,
That is the corner of Amesbury and Essex Street.
right. The Lawrence Gas Company on the right.
Was it the gas company or the electric?
I think it was both. Gas and
Oh,
electric.
Yeah, it was gas and electric. Yeah,
Yeah, it was both.
that's right. Lawrence Gas and Electric. Yeah, they covered that. They took
That's a
that
great
sign
shot.
out, but that's
Now it's apartments.
That's a great shot. The only person who knows the photographer is there is the little baby.
Yes.
yeah.
Turn it
she's,
around.
yeah, in the foreground, and she's the one looking at the camera, and the rest of the people are like, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
It's a great shot.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, it's 1949. And what else do we have here? Oh, no. The Capri.
The Capri.
Joe, would you tell us his
Joe
story?
never allowed
No,
it.
first I got to tell you
He
something
was
about
banned.
this. You don't get in this place unless you got a suit, coat, and tie.
Yeah.
If you dress like a slob or a t-shirt, they wouldn't let you in. You have to dress up. This is an elegant place. People used to come from Boston to come
Yeah.
to this Capri.
Great bands.
The bands,
orchestra.
yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, would you tell us that story about Jerry Vale?
Your sob story, Joe. Your
Yeah.
sob story.
Poor Joe.
Jerry Vale. Oh, boy. He was there. To me, it was like every week.
Right.
Yeah.
He was always there whenever time of the course. It'd be in the fall, summer, and spring. In the wintertime, everybody hibernated. But when he was there, I couldn't go in to see him. Why? I was 10 years old.
10.
Yeah.
10, 11. Couldn't go in.
Excuse me.
Bless
But
you.
you knew good music at that young
Oh,
age.
yeah.
Yeah. You had
Bless you. But I used to, across the street from there, I used to go to Ritzy's Diner a lot.
St.
Oh,
Ritzy's.
yeah.
And because they were open late at night, because the band people, the Capri, the orchestra people, when the program ended,
They come over there to eat.
they'd go over there to eat because Ritzy's was open till 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, they go there and have their meal, and then go home.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because Jerry Vale, his name was Gennaro Valerio,
Yeah,
and from a young age, everybody encouraged him to sing.
yeah, he had a good
And
voice.
he had a trained voice.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra would say that guy's got the best voice. He's got a better voice than I do.
Frank Sinatra said?
Frank Sinatra was an admirer of
Oh.
Jerry Vale. No, you can hear the voice, the range, the melodious voice. He could hit high notes, and
Yeah.
they were good friends. Sinatra, I love Sinatra, but he doesn't have much of a range. He doesn't really. For me, his strength is his ability to enter the spirit of a song and interpret the song emotionally.
Yeah.
But
The phrase, they always say his phrasing
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
was a big thing.
yeah.
Jerry Vale played the feast one time too.
Is
In the
that
Providence.
right?
Yeah, I guess
Oh, yes, he
Are you
did.
kidding?
Oh, boy, yeah.
He signed my CD for me.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to have some pictures of Jerry Vale. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Big
Jerry
crowd.
Vale.
Big crowd.
Mama, that song Mama.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he had some great hits.
Yeah.
Blue Spanish Eyes.
Yeah.
I can remember a lot of his 45
Yeah.
hits. He was very popular. Yeah. Gennaro Valerio.
Yeah.
Okay, next, please.
Ah, the Moles.
Remember
The
that?
Bullets.
Wow.
That's
Is-
the first one started in Lowell.
Yeah.
They started a little store in Lowell, and it was there. They knocked it down about 4 or 5 years ago. The first one was there.
We had Demulas up my way, up on the North Shore for a while.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's why I recognized the
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
name.
Look at that blue boat of a car and taking up half the parking
62 Chevy, and
Wow.
it's a 49. It's a 59 Chevy wagon there in the foreground.
Wow.
That was, I believe, that was the first Demulas in Lawrence. That's the one they started there.
lot. Was that where they took over for the First National? Behind, across from Metro Music?
Metro
Do you know
Music.
if that was,
Oh no, that was. Oh no, I think they knocked that down. That's where Northern Essex is now.
yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. No, they knocked it down and they put Prudential Insurance in there,
Okay.
and then they converted the building over to Northern Essex. No, that was
that wasn't there.
That was still that's still there. That Demulas is still there. It's on
wow.
Essex. It's on Essex Street. Essex Street, Upper
Oh,
Essex Street. Near
across from the
pro-
project?
Near the projects, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first one in the area.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The brothers started it, and
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the family's
Brothers,
been
yeah.
constant bickering, and
Yeah.
constant fighting. And,
Yeah.
it's too bad. I think there were two brothers. One
Yeah.
of them died young,
Mhm.
and it's constant bickering, constantly. It's too bad. Anyway, next, please. There's a good photo.
That was.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Was that 38? The flood?
36.
Yeah. 36?
36. 38 was the hurricane.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Saunders Studio.
Oh, photographer. Great
He
photographer,
was.
Saunders.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't there a mayor
Yes.
of Saunders?
Saunders. That would have been 1890s.
Oh, wow.
18
Yeah. In Saunders Street.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even the main street, and that looks like a big city, huh? It looks like Lawrence looks like a massive, like Boston or something.
Mhm.
Look at the buildings. Of course, they cleared those all out in the 50s and 60s. They're all gone.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta wonder how much water damage was done to all those buildings. Jesus, I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
really.
That was the big one in 36.
Yeah.
It wiped out a lot of stuff.
Like a barber shop up ahead on the left.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks like there's a car that's crashed into that same side of the street with the barber shop.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All that water.
Yeah. There's people in it too.
You recognize this guy?
Kurt
Oh, that's Kurt Gowdy.
Is that
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Gowdy. You say, well, what is his connection to Lawrence? Do you guys know?
Was it CCM?
He bought WCCM.
CCM.
He was
Lawrence-
the C, right?
He was 1963.
What's WCCM?
An AM station?
Yeah.
From Lawrence?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lawrence's hometown radio station.
Oh, okay.
He bought it in 1963 and sold it in the early 1990s. he was born in Wyoming, and so that was his connection to Lawrence.
Did a lot of Red Sox.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
a
remember
fixture
that?
with
Oh,
the Red
yeah.
Sox.
He was one of the big people broadcasting Red Sox games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirk Gowdy, Mel Parnell, and there was 3 of them. No, I can't remember the third one.
Yeah. Remember he used to pour himself a Narragansett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Narragansett beer?
Yeah.
Against it.
Yeah.
Have against it.
Against it.
They still make that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Next, please. What do we have here? Know who this guy is?
Is that from is Aerosmith?
Aerosmith. That's
Oh,
Joe
okay.
Perry. He was born in Lawrence.
He was?
Yeah, he's born in Lawrence. He
Didn't know
was
that.
born 1950. He was the same year.
Same as us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1950, Lawrence General Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But his parents were Portuguese and I forget, Italian, I think. Yeah, Portuguese and Italian.
Mm-hmm.
His mother was a gym teacher. His father was, I forget what his father was, but they moved him out. They wanted him to go to a really good school, and they moved to Hopedale. He grew up in Hopedale, but he was born in Lawrence.
I shot a wedding, and all the Aerosmith, before they became big, they had a table at the reception. It was at the Danvers Yacht Club. Only time I ever been
Oh,
at
really?
Danvers Yacht
Is that
Club.
right?
Wow.
But all Aerosmith, yeah. All 5 of them were there.
Really?
Yeah. The local, I won't say the name of the family, but they knew him prior to, and they showed up for
Wow.
the reception.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Before you're big, you can
Yeah.
do stuff like that.
Right, exactly.
Imagine the Beatles showing up at a local wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen.
No.
I had a friend of mine, a woman, she just passed away a few years ago. And she was a writer and photographer. And at her funeral, she had and I know she met some important people. You met Brian Jones of the Beatles,
Wow.
Eric Burden.
Okay.
And she had a snapshot of I couldn't ask her because she had passed away, but it was at her funeral. It was on a board. You know, they put snapshots. She had a
Right.
snapshot of the Beatles. It looked like it was taken from a home camera. They were just relaxing
Yeah.
in a cafeteria. They're sitting drinking
she took
coffee
it.
and everything. She must have taken it.
Yeah. Wow.
Geez, I wish I'd known. I would have loved to hear that story. Yeah.
That photograph must be worth a fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's that old.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
you
just
know.
like, yeah. Next one, please. There's another guy nobody knows. This is John Ruiz. He's born in Lawrence. And he's heavyweight champion of the world. WBA heavyweight champion.
No kidding.
Yeah. Born in Lawrence.
When,
But,
when was this? When was that?
1990s, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a WBA champion.
Wow.
But he was born at Lawrence General, but his mother's Puerto Rican. And they went back to Puerto Rico shortly after he was just an infant. And I guess she came back, but they went to Chelsea. So Chelsea claims him, you know what I mean, as one of their own. So, but I thought it was interesting, you know, some of the stuff you find out. I just went into on Google and I said, give me a list of famous people from Lawrence, and his name came up. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
He looks like a
Ruiz.
heavyweight champion.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was reading about he fought a lot of he fought Evander Holyfield and a lot of them. And he said, I do this so my kids won't have to do this. He said, every time I go out there, I think of my kids. He must be retired by now. But that's a hard life, huh? Trading punches to the head
Yeah.
for a living. Phew. Yeah, boy. Okay, next. Let's see. There he is, Boss Tweed.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
A lot of stories a lot of stories and rumors we can't share on the internet, of
Who
course.
was this?
This was the mayor of
Mayor
Lawrence.
Buckley?
John G.
But
Buckley.
he was a
this is
mayor
Buckley.
from the
Oh,
early.
Yeah, I know. I remember Buckley.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
mayor
oh, yeah.
He
from.
was mayor when we were in school.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
from
yeah.
the early '50s
Yeah.
till probably the early 80s, I think. He was about 30 years old, 30 years. But it was like the old political system, you know, jobs, patronage. You know, he was your guy if you wanted a city job, and he'd do favors and help people out, give them jobs and stuff like that. That was the old. What was it? What was that expression by Tip O'Neill? All politics,
is local.
Local. Yeah.
Well, he understood that very well. Make sure they got jobs, do favors, patronage, and he was the boss
And
to
the
lead.
Senator Wall too. Same different. You know.
Oh yeah.
Senator Wall.
Senator Wall,
Yeah.
Like the Cedar Crest Diner was his office. You know.
Yeah.
He
Billy
was,
Wall.
everybody in the city knew him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Billy Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about him before. He's a character. Yeah. What else do we have here? I forget what's in this photo. Oh, remember this place?
Oh.
Caps.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted really good clothes, if you really like to dress, people used to come from Boston to Lawrence, to this place, Caps.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, this is the most expensive, the most elegant clothes. Even movie stars and athletes used to come to Caps. You'd pay good prices
Where
for it.
was it?
Right on
Essex
Lawrence.
Street?
Essex Street.
Yeah.
Lawrence Street?
Essex Street.
The building is gone, but the facade, I believe, it's gone. But
Yeah.
Now, was it Caps or McCartney's where you get like if you in the Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts, you'd go down sell in the basement, get the uniforms.
Yeah.
I always forget if it was Caps, McCartney's.
McCartney's, I think, because I was in the Scouts. And I remember.
Oh yeah,
that.
we were in the same.
Yeah.
The three of us were in the same with
Yeah.
Mrs. Murphy, I think.
I was in the Boy Scouts. That might have been the Cub
Oh,
Scout.
we were the Cub. That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, that sounds like it. That sounds
McCartney's,
like
you think?
McCartney's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah,
I wondered
that's-
50 years.
No, I just remembered that, because I couldn't go there by myself. I had to go with one of my parents. And it was like, so where do we go, and it was all this like,
Down in the basement.
yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't let a little kid go down there by himself.
No.
yeah. Those were the two. There was Caps, and McCartney's also was a
McCartney,
kind of
yeah.
exclusive menswear. Yeah.
I
And of course,
well,
if you wanted to get clothes on the cheap, you'd go to Turnstile or something like that. They were just
Turnstile.
starting the department stores.
Duke's store for Dad and Lad.
Oh yeah, that's right. Duke's, yeah,
Yeah.
the other end of Essex
I
Street.
knew a guy who bought a suit. He was a kid, like a teenager. I think it was $12 for the suit, and he just paid it off. There was a payment book. He couldn't afford $12,
Wow.
Wow,
but he was a
yeah.
go-getter.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a few Duke shots somewhere of the archives.
Well, my mother and father got married in 1949, and when my mother passed away, I found a little notebook, and it was of wedding gifts. Some people gave $1. It's a wedding gift. Some people 50 cents. Some people gave $5. That was like really a lot.
Big one.
I mean, 1949.
Yeah.
People are still working mills. I suppose they make $40 or $50 a week. That's you can live. Everything was cheaper then too. Yeah, my mother and father didn't have. They were so poor they couldn't afford a band or anything. They got this whole hall. They rented this whole hall in Lowell on Middle Street. It's still there under a different name. And my father said we couldn't afford a band or anything. We got this old man with an accordion. They gave him a couple of bucks and a couple of drinks. There's $2.
Lady of
and
Spain.
you can have as much beer as you want. It's
Wow.
$2.
But they lasted. They stayed. Yeah.
They
Stayed.
Well, my mother and father were married, for the rest of their lives. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I shot weddings on the side for 30 years. And he'd swap stories with other photographers. And one guy, he took 6 weeks to get the pictures to the people. They were divorced before they got the pictures.
No.
Yeah, they had a band, but it's more important
Wow.
Yeah.
to stay together and not break up before. And he didn't get paid. He didn't get paid.
The thing about photographing weddings is you don't have a redo at all.
No.
It's the scariest thing in the world,
Yeah.
okay? I mean,
Absolutely.
digitally it's really encouraging because you can check your shots right away. But I mean, in the film days, you would just hope that you got
Did it film.
it all
Yeah.
came out right. I did 2 or 3. I did a wedding where I was in a church. It was in the the main church in the yard. There's a basement church. Okay, so the couple were getting married down there, but it was so dark. The wood was dark. The lighting was dark. And the only way I could really take any photographs was I was leaning against a wall and holding the camera and hoping that, you know, the shutter wasn't too slow so that I didn't, you know, any movement and I would have blurred the image. But it was like, that's the hardest thing in the world, is because you don't get a redo.
You don't get a redo.
You know, and if you screw up, man, people are mad.
They remember.
Oh my God, yeah.
That place in Chicorowa has been on the news. It was on national news. The barn where they were having the wedding and the floor collapsed.
Yes.
I shot a wedding there. There's no way that could have supported 100 people.
Really?
Only 6 were injured. But there's no way.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, weddings, scary type of photography.
That is.
You know this trend nowadays, young people having $100,000 weddings?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in my 20s, if a couple didn't have any money, they'd go to a tavern. And they set out, I went to a couple of weddings like that. They set out ham sandwiches, roast beef, or tuna fish, with a big bowl of coleslaw and some potato chips.
Yeah.
That's what they did. I mean, if you didn't have any money, you didn't go into debt. You save your money for a down payment for a house or something.
Yeah.
Imagine starting out $100,000.
Wow.
There was
for
a family I knew. Everybody in Massachusetts would know the name, but I'm not going to mention it. The flowers were $30,000.
Wow.
And this was back in the 70s.
This wasn't Lynch's daughter's wedding on the Marblehead Point, was it?
No, that I could say it wasn't that one. But 30 grand for the flowers.
Wow.
30 grand.
Wow.
Wow.
50 years ago.
What would that be today, huh?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, what else do we have here? What other gems do we have here? I completely forgot what I put in here. Oh, you know this guy on the left is Sean Penn's father.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And he was born in
Mr.
Lawrence.
Penn.
He was born in Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penn's farmers.
As I said, I just Googled famous people from Lawrence, and this guy, Leo Penn.
Cool.
And it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Is
Is that his mother?
I don't
the
know.
shot.
I don't know if it's his mother or not. So they're Lithuanian, Jewish parents, and he was blacklisted. He was an actor himself, and he was blacklisted because he wouldn't name names back in the Senate investigations of communism there. Joseph McCarthy back then. But he went to the actor's studio and everything. So
Really?
So
That's maybe where Sean got his.
Joe
jam.
Penn,
He's
yeah.
been working in Haiti forever,
yeah.
doing a lot of good. Penn's, that was within spitting distance of your house.
Penn's
Growing up,
drugstore. Remember that?
your house,
Oh yeah.
the Assumption, and right on Lawrence and, and Park.
Lawrence and Park.
Yeah.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
the name of the?
Yeah,
I never knew the name. I never knew the name of it because it was just the drugstore in the corner.
drugstore, yeah.
Oh, they got really mad at Tom and my brother and I because on Sunday we were selling newspapers in front of the church, and after church everybody walked over to the drugstore to get their newspapers, and so we were undercutting them a little.
Oh wow.
So they were
You were blacklisted.
blacklisted.
Cool story. How much were you getting for papers? Do you remember?
Oh, we were buying them from the same place that the drugstore was getting them. It was wherever there was a whole distribution place, and you just went over there and you bought the papers for the price of for wholesale. Wholesale basically, and you're selling them for retail in that principle. So but you had to buy the papers before you left. So you're paying 10 cents for the paper. So you're paying 50 papers. You get whatever, and then you could return the papers that you don't sell, and you get credit for them. So it was a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gave you pocket money. I mean, we weren't making a fortune, but enough to give us spending money or whatever. Go to the movies money.
Right.
Exactly. So.
I remember
Cool.
Penn's had a special thing, a graveyard soda. Remember that?
Yes.
It
the
was
graveyard.
it was cola, root beer, orange,
Army.
everything mixed
It's
together.
chocolate.
And chocolate.
Yeah, everything.
They
all
did
the
have a
pumps.
soda fountain in there.
Yeah, they
They
did
did,
old
I
fashioned.
remember it was right as you walked in the door. It was
On the right.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine? Can you imagine what that thing would do to your blood glucose?
Oh, I know.
I think
The graveyard.
I retch when I think about it, but I loved them back then. I loved
yeah.
that stuff. Oh, I gotta go down and get a graveyard soda.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
diabetic,
Definitely. Right.
diabetic stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
pick
get
up
some,
the insulin. on the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
out.
you should sell some. Yeah, sell some insulin.
put you in the
along
ground
with
there,
it.
Mark.
Yeah.
The church is right across the street.
Right.
You don't have far to go.
Pick up one of Doug's papers, read your own obituary.
What else do we have here? A trip back in time.
Oh,
Now I don't remember this, but you mentioned that you remembered it. That's put it in there.
Joe's gonna have a panic attack.
that was awful. I'm glad I didn't have a weak heart when that
Yes.
incident happened. Yeah, my mother had gone into what's the bakery on the downtown Essex Street, Blue Bonnet
Blue
Bakery.
Bonnet.
She had
Oh,
to pick
yeah.
up a cake. She had ordered the cake. All right. She told me wait outside. I was 8, 9 years old. Wait out. I'll be back out with the cake. So I'm standing there. All of a sudden, behind me, this loud noise in the back of my head, and it was him, Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut.
Scared the life out. I didn't sleep for a week and a half.
Yeah, he is kind of scary.
Well,
Yeah.
Look at that.
like I
Look at
said, I
that
was
face.
8, 9 years old. This, behind the back of my head, he had started screaming. I turned around. I said, "Oh my God,
That is traumatizing.
what is this?"
8-year-old.
Cassie, can we see that
it-
picture again, please? Could you?
That's from
Look
the
at his
that is
scary
classic.
face.
So my
It looks
mother
like
comes out with the cake. She said, "What happened?" That guy scared me,
his,
Mr. Peanut.
He's
Oh,
got a
great
cane, too.
story.
it's true. That's
Yeah.
the scary part.
That's a great story.
Scared me to death.
so
You know the guy's name?
No, but I think he was drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he was
so
high
he
as
was.
a kite.
They must have given the peanut company must have given him a few bucks to walk around with
Yeah,
the peanut.
well, he
uniform
certainly
on.
did walk around.
Yeah.
I wish I knew he was coming.
Probably ended up in Walpole.
I don't know.
No, it's night. It's supposed to be cute. It's nightmarish. It looks like
yeah.
It looks like something a C.G. Jung would call up from his collective unconscious or something primitive. Like
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
who pays a guy to do that? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
walk up and down Essex Street dressed in a peanut.
Scaring
uniform.
kids. Which he did.
The good old days.
And next, please. Is that it? Oh yeah.
Oh.
This is This is one of yours.
No.
This is
But-
St. Lawrence's Church,
St. Lawrence's. Mm-hmm.
and of course, thousands of churches are closing. They're closing by the thousands.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Is it still open?
No.
well, you'll see in the
it was
next.
leveled.
You'll see in the next
They
photo.
sold the pews and the stained glass windows.
And you see what happened to Doug in
the
the next photo. Can we see the next photo, please, Cassie?
The bricks needed the
Oh,
pointing
wow.
up.
That's one
didn't-
of mine.
Right,
That's
they
one of
didn't point
yours.
the bricks, and they fell apart.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Took it down.
But now in that spot, there's a nice community center with a lot of Hispanic teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of good work. Some people in that. Kyron, Elvis, Gabby, those are the ones I know by name. They do a lot of good work for the kids in the neighborhood.
Okay, well
It's on that lot, yeah.
that's a good reuse.
But everybody said they couldn't believe the footprint when they knocked it down because it was not a big lot, but it was vertical. It was kind of a tall one. And how did that church fit on that lot? It took up, a lot of people commented about that.
I noticed that even like in Boston or something, they're putting in these big, tall buildings, but the small little space.
Right. They use every square
Yeah,
foot
yeah.
that they can.
Yeah. And I think we have some more here, please. Next one, please. Oh, there's Kennedy's Cleaners. Do you
Yeah.
recognize that?
That's one of mine.
That's one of yours, yeah.
Yeah.
It's right across from the Hayden Schofield Place stand. And they have those, see those windows they open up? They would open them up in the summer. I guess they didn't have it.
Yeah.
The fumes from that,
Is that on
place.
Lawrence Street?
Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Lawrence
That's
and,
re-
yeah.
not far from
what,
your old
what car
house.
is that, Doug? You know your car.
Is
that an Impala?
no, that's a Chrysler. It looks like 66 somewhere, 66, 67 give or take a year, either side. Yeah.
One of my cousins
I
married
think
the
it's
daughter.
impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Daughter of Kennedy's.
Yeah, Mary Jo Colifrat.
Oh, that Colifrat.
Right, they owned it.
I knew a man. One of my father's friends, Tony, Italian guy, lived up near Cochran Circle. Tony worked there all his life, breathing those fumes. The fumes were overwhelming.
Yeah.
And he smoked.
Yeah.
And Tony lived a lot. He lived well into his 80s. This guy must have an immune system unbelievable.
Yikes.
The softball games were great down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You'd get,
Yeah.
big turnouts.
And let's see. Do you have another one here, Tikasi? Oh, yeah. This is Brooklyn Pool Room. You remember that?
The
Sign says Brooklyn
I
Pool
don't
Room.
remember where that was.
That's not one of your photos?
No, that's from the
From the archives, yeah.
yeah, from the archives.
That's somewhere down. There were all pool rooms down there, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's seedy. Like, there's something about these old pool rooms. They look dangerous.
They were.
I suppose, yeah.
Yikes.
Well,
Brooklyn
considering who's
No.
going to go there,
Yeah.
There's a whole host of these.
Wow.
I wonder if Rudy's pool room.
Rudy's. Yeah.
Let me see
Across
the
from
next one, please.
Frasca's.
I wonder if the next one, please, Cassie. Oh, City.
Oh, the
Was that
I don't know
flower.
anything
Pemberton?
about that. I think it's from
Pemberton
the,
Mill?
no,
What a
that's not the
mess.
Pemberton. That's another
not.
one.
Yeah. South,
City Flower Mills. What happened there, Joe? Do you
South of
remember?
South Broadway.
Yeah.
And all the big flower companies always went there.
Flowers.
King Arthur.
Yeah.
Oh, flour.
The
Okay.
flower companies went there. And then 1907, mess.
Whoa.
It was a fire. Something.
Oh,
Inside
maybe it
caught
exploded, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
anytime you have flour powders or anything like that, they're very explosive, you know.
Yeah, South Broadway.
Yeah.
Then later they built the Oswego Mill.
Is that still
same-
there?
Near the bridge?
Yeah, before Southmore, before St. Patrick's.
Right. Along the canal there?
Just yeah, where the canal would end. That's the end, kind of, and then the dam further across the street. Yeah, in 1907. But I was reading about a lot of the flour mills brought to be they did something to the flour there. And then you say King Arthur was one of their customers
Yeah.
that used to go there and whatever, daily, weekly, whatever, to do something with the flour until 1907. And
Yeah.
bingo.
I imagine they have guards, and they probably check the humidity in a place like that nowadays. But it can be very explosive. Let me see. We have another one in there, Cassie. I know we're getting towards the end here.
The Great
Oh, Great
Imposter.
Imposter.
Oh yeah.
He
This,
went to Central, didn't he?
he did Ferdinand de Mera,
Yeah.
and of course they made a Hollywood movie of him.
Tony Curtis.
Yeah.
This is he was he
Oh, yeah, Tony Curtis.
he was he posed as a doctor. He did operations
Yeah.
without even a high school diploma. Dean of a school, a warden of a prison. It just went on and on. This guy was incredible. If anybody wants to know more about him, we have an entire episode. I think Joe and I did it. I think you and I did it, just the two of us. And we have an entire episode. If you look on our base of episodes, we have an entire half hour on this guy. It's fascinating.
The Great Imposter.
The Great Imposter, yeah, amazing. He had a lot of character. He had a lot of character. This guy was a born leader. I mean, he just oozing character. You'd follow him into battle. He's just a natural leader, not a boss, but a leader. And towards the end of his life, he regretted. He said, "I could have used all my talent. He could have been a bishop. He could have been a general, a CEO. He could have been anything." And he kind of regretted it towards the end of his life. But a very interesting life.
Yeah.
From Lawrence.
Yeah.
Went to Central Catholic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, please.
WLAW.
WLAW. That was a radio station
yeah.
in Lawrence. And and after about 2 years, they moved it to Boston. Somebody bought them out. 680 on your dial. So I think that
Wow.
was WRKO, one of the big stations. One of the big corporations bought them out, and
Yeah,
they were broadcasting to Boston.
They had
They're
a
on
big
Essex.
antenna serving New England.
Yeah.
They were on Essex
A
Street
lot of watts.
Essex
Yeah, I
Street,
think I remember that.
with Newfer and Dimmick.
Oh, yeah,
Different,
yeah.
the music
They're
store.
I think they're upstairs.
That's right,
They
yeah.
had a studio. They had a studio there. And
Yeah.
I had some postcards of entertainers or actors, acts rather, that were on the radio, and some of them were cowboy groups.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The archive has a few of those
Yeah.
cowboy shots. Yeah,
I have
those are beautiful.
3 or 4 postcards of them at the WLAW. Yep.
Did Lou Marcel? No, he was CCM.
Yeah, I don't know
Remember
who
Lou
was-
Marcel?
Lou
Yeah.
Marcel, oh, yeah. Much
He
beloved.
was sort of like a Kurt Gowdy on the radio. for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He had the Hotline program. Remember that?
Oh,
that was
yeah,
always
Hotline.
fun. Yeah.
Hotline.
He actually Jerry Williams pioneered in Boston, pioneered that, and Lou Marcel came shortly afterwards. Live radio.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That was the last one?
Okay, so that's it, everybody, for another episode 26. And we're going to keep producing these as long as we can.
Yes.
So I'm Mark Palermo, Tom Delisle, Joe Bella, Mr. Douglas Cogger. For all of us here, be well.
Take care.
Bye-bye, everybody.